Team matters, 4 changes, 4 personnel changes, 1 positional change. We knew that Aaron Beard wasn't available. Are the others selection issues or fitness issues?
No, I just felt that Aaron Wainwright's done really well, and with the 6-day turnaround we wanted to freshen up some legs, which we've done with Tame Plumtree. So he comes in there. It's an opportunity for us to cap Freddie Thomas, who's been training really well. That is an easy replacement with Adam Beard. Again, chance for Rio Dyer to come back into the side and to push Blair Murray back to fullback, where he's played a lot of rugby. It's not an unfamiliar position to him. For him, we want to see how he goes there. And then with Sam at 10, Gareth's had the first 2 games to start, and we want to make sure he continues to get rugby in that 10 position as well.
So not a reflection on Cam when it's at 15 more that you want to see Blair in that position?
Yeah, Cam's, look, he's had some experience there and whatever, and we want to see how he goes in that position. His work rate's been excellent in terms of trying to get involvement and stuff, and so we want to see how he goes at 15. And like I said, we're really pleased with Tom Rogers' his form, and Rio's been training really well and gets an opportunity to come back in and to go out there and perform well.
There was a lot of raw emotion, I bet, post the game on Sunday.
By
yourself, bit of soul searching possibly. How's it been this week?
It's been good. Yeah, the boys had a couple of days off to recover with the 6-day turnaround. So, so we've had this morning together doing a little bit of review stuff, focusing on Saturday, and then training session this afternoon.
So it's not any different to any other game?
In what way?
In terms of the emotion or how things panned out in the weekend?
Just focusing on Saturday.
You said post-match that you were comfortable with whatever the best decision for Welsh Rugby is regarding your future. Do you personally believe you'll be in this position post-South Africa and leading Wales into the Six Nations?
That's right. It's not something I've even thought about. I just think I'm just focused solely on preparing the team for this week to do the best job we can. You know, if you start thinking about other things and going outside and talking about other things, then it's a distraction that you don't need. You just got to focus totally on preparing the team the best we can. We're speaking as a group this morning, the forwards, in terms of what we can do and with regard to improving the performance from last week. And the backs have been pretty honest as well. So not thinking. If you start thinking about other things, it becomes a real distraction.
In a different way, then, you've had no indication that you won't be
in
charge post-South Africa?
No, I haven't, no.
Okay, thank you.
James?
Warren, do you still have a strong desire to continue in the role?
Absolutely.
Regardless of what happens on the weekend?
Absolutely.
And what makes you confident in that? You give a bit of context in terms of your belief and your desire?
Well, I think we've been pretty clear in terms of the plan that we've had. We know we've got a group of young players that need a bit of time. Look, I've been, I think, pretty honest in terms of I understand the pressures of international rugby and performance and results, and we can only continue to work as hard as we've done. And so, but I'm aware of the pressures and that decisions could be made outside of my control. So we just have asked for a little bit of time. Whether we get that time or not, we'll have to wait and see.
If you thought it was in the best interests of Welsh rugby, would you resign?
If I thought it was in the best interests, absolutely.
And you say you need time. How long?
Look, I just said that on this journey we've needed a bit of time, and how long we get given to do that. But I'm fully aware that international rugby is about performance and results. So hopefully we go out on Saturday and give a better performance than we did last week. The disappointing thing about that is probably at times when we have switched off. I thought there was a number of opportunities that we created and unfortunately didn't quite take some of them. There was, a period in the game where we haven't started well, but we've got into it. We've shown some real courage to get back into the game, and probably in that second half, during their red card, we probably haven't taken advantage of that situation.
For Welsh rugby fans watching on, how long do you think it will take to return to winning?
It's one game at a time.
The issue obviously goes a lot deeper than just the national team, the regions. For you, what is the solution moving forward? That you or whoever has a bigger talent pool to pick?
Oh, look, I think that's something for a discussion outside of this. It's for us just focusing on this weekend, and probably post the weekend, that's something we could talk about in terms of discussion. Don't want to take anything away from what our focus is, and the focus is about South Africa and the game this week.
Stephen?
Warren, you and Russia have found each other worthy adversaries over the years. You've had some big wins and against each other, advanced some shots. I mean, just give me an insight into what it's like, sort of coaching against a team that's coached by Russia, and then also do you sort of feel comfortable that, there are no longer any relationship issues there, perhaps, maybe you sort of stepped over the line?
Look, we've chatted on a couple of occasions about that, and it's one of the things that you've got to put things past, go past, what happened, potentially on the Lions and stuff, and so we've had, like I said, a couple of chats about that, and I think with Razzie, you know what you get from a South African team in terms of that physicality. They wear their heart in their sleeve in terms of the way they perform and play, and we're well aware of that, and particularly what's coming on Saturday. So we've just got to make sure that we're up for that physical battle.
I do recall about 10 years ago, I think it was this same room and you were dodging bullets, and then that Saturday you beat the Springboks. Do you think, obviously they've got one could say, a bigger talent pool for you to pick from, but do you think that there's is your team maybe close to achieving a big victory?
Well, I think with Welsh rugby, you're going to have some troughs and some highs, and that with sometimes a limited talent pool, which takes a little bit of time to develop. I think what's impressed me about South Africa this year is that it's probably for the first time that I've seen that there's been a real emphasis on developing some depth within their squad. I think that Razzie probably understands that there's a few players that won't be around potentially for the next World Cup. They haven't lost many since having won the World Cup last year, so I think they've been conscious of trying to build some real depth within the squad, and I haven't seen that from South Africa before, but we're pretty aware of what's going to be thrown at us from a physical point of view. When they come under pressure, they resort back to their strengths, which is obviously the scrum and maul, and try and get penalties from the dominance in those areas. So we've got to make sure that we're solid both at line out defence and obviously strong at scrum time, and not allow them territory, because when they get into that attacking 22 area, they're very, very tough to stop in terms of their momentum and going forward. So I don't think things are going to change, but what they've also probably, I think they've got two of the best midfielders in the world in terms of that combination and experience they've got, and then they've got some real exciting talent on the outside as well.
Just lastly from me, given everything that you have to deal with, I mean, you've had massive sort of players going, your regions aren't really performing, URC and so on. Do you think maybe that's a little bit, the pressure on you is a little bit unfair, given that your coaching record speaks for itself, and you have all these challenges that you've got to deal with?
I think it's just something you got to deal with at sport, isn't it? It's kind of like, and I got asked the same question on Sunday after the game, probably in 10 or 15 different ways that, they wanted. I wasn't giving the right response, so someone wanted the right response, so it became a headline. So you just got to learn to deal with those things, and I've always tried to be as honest as I possibly can and to give an opinion, and I sometimes some of those things are outside your control, and we're just going to work incredibly hard over the next couple of days and hopefully go out there and give a performance. It's not just myself that's hurting, it's the players that are disappointed, and the coaches and the other staff members as well. And we need to go out there, and we spoke about if we can all as a group of players just fix up one or two little things that it's going to make a significant improvement to the performance, and hopefully we can go out there and surprise a few people, because there's not a huge amount of expectation on us, and sometimes that enables you to take the shackles off and play with a little bit more freedom.
One question with Ben, and then we'll finish with the live.
Warren, there's been talk this week about potential break clause in your contract after the Six Nations. Is that something you can confirm or offer clarity on?
Break clause?
Yes, after the Six Nations. I was just wondering if in your contract, I was wondering if that's something you can offer clarity or confirm.
In terms of, how do you explain that, or what do you mean?
A break clause within your contract.
For me?
Yes, to leave after the Six Nations.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
No, there's no break clause in my contract for the Six Nations, I don't know where that came from. I thought you were asking if there's a break clause from the union or a break clause from me.
No, for you.
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know where that came from, so. Yeah.
Thank you.